How's it going, YouTube? This is TalkF bringing you another video, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new Nintendo 3DS. The new Nintendo 3DS is a system that actually came out a little while back, probably like a year or so ago. Um, it's a pretty nice little system. It's a upgrade from the original 3DS, where they not only add a few software changes, but they also add a ton of hardware changes. One of the biggest changes, of course, is the increase in processing speed. So the system is definitely faster in loading and using certain apps and whatnot. It's pretty cool in that aspect, but we're going to also take a look at some of the more visual changes and a few of the other things. So let's get right into it. As you can see right at the top, I don't have a cover on it. So one of the uh, other new features is that you can add your own covers, which is really cool. So you can order them online. Unfortunately, here in the Americas, they don't have covers like in the stores, at least as far as I was able to tell, like in GameStop and stuff. They don't have like a bunch of covers or anything you can choose from. So you have to go online for that. But aside from that, on the top here, you do have your two cameras here, just like the other one. You have your little indicator light here for Street Pass and whatnot. So nothing too different there. At the top of the system, though, you're gonna see something else that's very different, and it's the ZL and ZR buttons. So we have a couple extra buttons at the top here, which is pretty cool for certain games like shooters and stuff. It gives you a little more options for what you can use for your button mapping and all that kind of stuff. You have an infrared reader right there. You have your charger slot right there, and you have a little slot there for your wrist strap if you want to put one there. So that's pretty much it for that. On the right hand side of the system is your little 3D slider there. So nothing different there, pretty much the same as the other one. On the other side is your volume slider. As you can see, it's on the top panel now. It's not on the bottom anymore. So that's definitely a difference there. On the bottom here is another pretty big difference. It's that the card slot, the game card slot, has been moved to the bottom left-hand side of the system. In my opinion, this is more convenient. So it's actually a pretty nice and welcome addition there, or change. And over here is where you put your headphone. Over here is where your stylus would go. So I left it out because if you don't have the covers, of course, it won't really hold, as you can see. So you do need your covers to keep your stylus in there. And then right here on the side is your power button. Okay, and then you have your little indicator lights here. Nintendo loves their indicator lights, which is fine by me. I like them too. So over here is your power indicator. In the middle here is your charging indicator. And over here on the right is your Wi-Fi indicator. So that's going to blink if you have a Street Pass and all that on. Okay, so on the rear side panel here, you have your little slot here. This is where your mini SD card here, micro SD card, excuse me, goes in here. So you do have to remove the entire back cover to change your SD card. But you know, if you put a decent size one in there, I got a 16 gig in there, you probably won't ever have to change it. So you just put it in there once and you're done. Batteries right here. And that's pretty much it for the back here. All right, so we're gonna put that aside for now. We'll just leave that right there. All right. And the next thing I want to show you guys is an example of the types of panels that you can use for the system. So here's one example. All right. So this one was as far as if I'm correct here, I believe it was ordered through Amazon. I actually, when I purchased my system, it came with this cover. All right, so I purchased it used, of course, and the person I bought it from bought this online. And this is a really cool cover. As you can see, it has Nintendo characters on it. You got Link here, you have Mario here, you have Pikachu, Kid Icarus, and that's Samus right there in the corner there. Just see her little shoulder pad thing, whatever. Um, so this is an example of the covers, and it's pretty easy to put in. All right, so this has little hinges here on the side, as you can see. And you just kind of line them up with the holes over here, just like that, and you just push on down. And that's it. You're done. All right, no screws or anything for the top panel. which, to be honest with you, that's something that I was a little afraid about because I felt like, wow, it feels kind of flimsy. Is it gonna just fall off, really easily? But I gotta say, I've dropped the system once or twice, and the top panel never popped off. So I was very happy about that. It's pretty sturdy. Now on the bottom is a little different. All right, so this is the panel that I have for the bottom. All right, this is a pretty cool cover as well. It has more Nintendo characters. All right, you got the villager, Kirby, and Yoshi, and so on and so forth. Some Japanese text there, which I cannot read. Maybe it says Super Smash Brothers there. I'm guessing. um, so this is the back cover. The big difference here is the screws. As you can see, it has two screws at the top. They're kind of like embedded in there, so like you don't have to worry about them coming out or whatever. So what you do here is, again, there's hinges. You just line them up with the holes on the back. Push it on down. All right, and then you can just grab any screwdriver. This is just one that I use for glasses. These are cheap. You can get them at the dollar store, whatever. And you just kind of screw it in. Don't do it too tight, just in case. You don't want to break the break the screws in there. So you just want to be careful with that. All right. So once you screw that in, then you can put your stylus in, and it won't fall out. See? All right, so now I have my system all put together. It looks really, really nice. This is a really cool Smash Brothers cover. I really like it. So if you did want to change them, if you feel like, oh, I want to have a new cover today, whatever, it's pretty easy to take these out. As you can see on the stylus, it has like a little hook almost, as you can see there, and there's like these little hinges, these little slots here. So you just kind of stick it under the slot and just push up like that, pops right out. All right, so it's really easy to change, nothing too complex there. All right, so now that we took a look at the outside of the system, right, with the little cameras and everything, let's take a look at what the inside holds, shall we? Here we go. Okay, so you heard there the little sound of my theme, which is from the newly released Hyrule Warriors Legends, which we will take a look at a little later. It was a free theme, so which is pretty cool. So the inside of the system, as far as the hardware goes, there's a few differences. So some of the similarities is you got the speakers on the top. The screen is definitely a little bigger, which is very welcome. It's a higher quality screen. The colors and everything are a lot nicer, um, which is pretty cool. That's something I actually did not expect when I bought the system, that the screens would look better. I don't know if I just didn't read about it, but it was a big surprise to me how nice it looked. At the top here, you have a little, there's your camera right there, nothing different there. On the side of that is a little like sensor, and I believe that's what tracks your head. So the 3D has been much improved for the system. You can move it around and it'll stay 3D for you, which is really nice, and that's due to this little tracker up here. Um, I believe that's what it is, either that or something in the camera, or something like that. But it tracks your head, so you can move the system and the 3D won't mess up. Another big difference here is, of course, the little analog nub, whatever you want to call it. It's it's really not super great, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not going to outdo, say, the PlayStation Vita's right analog stick, for example. But it's a welcome addition. It's nice to have it. It's better than having to have a big bulky attachment like the Circle Pad Pro for the original 3DS. So I'd say I'm okay with it. And then over here, as you can see, the buttons are the same button setup. The difference is the colors, which I really like. It's very reminiscent of the Super Famicom. So you have the different colors for each button, which is really nice. The start and select are down here. The home button is in the middle now, and it's a nice, tactile button. Your D-pad is here, nice and clicky, works very well. And then you have your regular circle analog stick there, nothing different there. And then your microphone is on the bottom. So that's it for the hardware. Let's take a look at some of the software changes here. The UI is basically exactly the same. Not really anything different there. On the top here in the options, so I clicked up here. You can change your theme, which is how I got this theme over here. You can do all this other stuff, menu layout and screen brightness. Auto brightness is something that's new. I don't believe this was in the original. You could actually set it to, if you set it to on, it'll automatically raise and lower the brightness depending on your lighting situation, which is really cool. I really like that. You have your, power saving mode if you need it. This is another difference here is that there's no hardware button for turning on and off the Wi-Fi, so you have to do it through this menu. So it's a very simple thing. You just turn it off or on, whatever. Um, you got your image share, your amiibo settings. That's another big difference. This has an NFC reader built right in. You can set your amiibo right on top of there, and it'll read it. And you don't have to buy any other attachments. So that's another really cool thing if you're into the amiibos. And then you have your options and uh, eShop and all that stuff. So nothing really different there as far as that goes. Now, like I mentioned, there's a difference in the CPU. The processing speed has been increased. It's a lot better now. One of the things that has been improved is the internet browser. So since we have that speed boost, the internet browser is actually usable now. Before it was like I wouldn't even touch it, but now it's actually something that you could use. You can surf the net. It loads nice and fast, as you can see. This is IGN. You could even watch videos on here, which is pretty cool. So let me see if I could, as soon as this loads up. I mean, it's not gonna replace your phone or anything like that, of course. But it's nice, if you don't have a phone, maybe if you're a younger person and you don't have a phone yet or whatever, this is a nice alternative. So this is a video. It's a No Man's Sky. Another cool game. Unfortunately, it's not on the 3DS. This is on the PlayStation 4, I believe, and PC. See, the videos load nice and fast. They look really good. You can fast forward, pause, whatever. Everything's done on the bottom. 3D. I don't know what that's for. You actually. Oh, interesting. So you could actually set up 3D options there as well, which is pretty cool. I didn't know about that. So that's that. So that's your video. It's pretty cool. If you want to use it as a browser. At the top here you have your Miiverse on the right there, and then your friends list, your notifications, your notepad. Nothing different there. So let's take a look at some of the games that we have here. Now I have a few digital games installed, not too many. Um, None of these though are exclusive new 3DS games. These are all games that you can play very well on your original 3DS. So there's nothing really different there. Um, they don't run better or anything like that. They run exactly the same. Then you have your apps like Netflix and YouTube, which definitely take a speed boost from the new processor, so they do take advantage of that. It's still nothing amazing, but it's not too bad there. All right, so let's put this aside for now. Okay, let's take a look at some of the games that we're going to be demoing today. So first things first, I wanted to take a look at the Hyrule Warriors Legends game. So this is a game I unboxed on my channel, say about a week or so ago when it released. And it's a really cool game. I've been playing quite a bit of it. And as you can see, the little cartridge is there. So this game is not exclusive to the 3DS, like I mentioned. Xenoblade Chronicles is the only one. But it actually runs better on the new 3DS than it does on the original 3DS, which is very interesting. So, I mean, if you ask me, I have a feeling that this game was meant to be a new 3DS exclusive, but they just wanted to um, not, miss out on sales on the original 3DS since there's so many of them out there in the wild. But whatever. So let's take a look at the game. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I can't account for the load times in this game. I don't know if they're a lot better than the original one because I haven't seen any comparisons of that. But I do know that this game does not suffer from as much slowdown as the original. So that's a definite important thing right there. So let's get started on this game. All right. So let's click resume, and we'll take a look at how the game runs on this system. All right, so there goes loading. I love that little load screen. This original Legend of Zelda Link right there, which is really cool. I love that. This is a very good nostalgic game. I would like to do a review on it um, eventually, but just a sort of a little preview of my review is that I think that it's a really, really cool game. Probably one of the best, one of the better 3DS games I've played in a while. So I'm really, really enjoying it. All right, so here we are playing some Legend of Zelda, or sorry, Hyrule Warriors Legends. As you can see, I'm using the right analog nub to move the camera around. There's Linkle there, so that's one of the new characters for this game. You can also download her on the Wii U version of the game. All right, so as you can see, it runs nice and smooth. Let's see if we can find some enemies here. Okay. There we go. I see a lot of red life bars there, so that's an indicator that there's enemies all over the place. Okay. So as you can see, even with all the enemies, the game is still running nice and smooth. Okay. There we go. You can lock on, which is pretty cool. Usually in Dynasty Warriors games, they don't let you lock on to the enemies. You can only lock on to like boss characters and outpost guards, captains, whatever, stuff like that. All right. So there we go. All right, so I'm not going to show too much gameplay of this. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little feel for it. All right. So there's my little cuckoos all over the place. So there we go. So that's the game. It runs nice and smooth, like I said. If you're going to be getting this game, get it on the new 3DS if you have that option, because you're going to get a much better gaming experience. All right. So we're going to close that out for now. All right. So let's take a look at some of the other games that we can play on here. So I'm gonna look at an older game that's not doesn't get any real boost from the 3DS, but it still looks really nice. And that's again, sorry, we're on the Legend of Zelda theme here, but we're gonna look at Ocarina of Time. Look how much I paid for this game, and it just recently price dropped to $20. I was so mad. But anyways, um, here we are, Ocarina of Time. Let's put this in the system. All right. And let's take a look at how this game runs on the system. Okay. So wait for that little load screen there. All right. Let's go ahead and load our save. So I just, here's the save file I've been playing recently. Start. I really, really love this game. This is like my favorite game of all time. So it was really awesome to play this on a 3DS. But anyways, as you can see, the game looks and runs pretty much the same as it did on the original 3DS. There's really no difference there. Now the right analog stick does absolutely nothing in this game. That did it automatically. I didn't move it. So it does absolutely nothing. The L, R, and the Z, R, and Z, L buttons don't do anything as well. So if you put an original 3DS game here that does not support any of the new features, it'll just run exactly the same as it did on the original. So there's really going to be no difference there. The game still runs well. The game still looks well. It does look a little more crisp on the new screen. It also looks the 3D looks a lot better. So you do get that boost from that. But again, it's not going to be a night and day type thing. All right, so that's the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. All right, so whoops, sorry about that. Forgot to close out the game before I went home. All right, so let's put that aside for now. Let it think, whatever. Get back to the main menu there. So another thing I'd like to take a look at today is the original DS games and how they run on the system. All right, so we're going to take a look at Dragon Quest 9 on from the original 3D, the original DS. So it's really cool because the new 3DS still plays all original 3 DS games, which is really awesome. Okay, so you don't have to worry about tossing your DS uh, uh, collection if you decide to buy this new system. All right. So the original DS games, they're really just um, run exactly the same. It's like they're straight emulated or whatever. Um, so you're not gonna get any speed boosts or anything like that from these games, as far as I could tell. But you can still play and enjoy all of these games. We could put the sound up for this. Is not a Nintendo game. All right, so there's Dragon Quest 9. It does look a little nice. Oh, I thought I started a new game here already. I guess I didn't. As you can see, the visuals still look really nice on the screen. You know, I mean, like I said, you're not going to get a resolution boost or anything like that. Um, but you know, it still looks nice on the new screen. So that alone gives you that extra little boost that you need right there. All right. But yeah, so the games run great. They look great. Of course, you're not going to take any advantage of the right analog stick as well for the original DS games. You're just going to use it the same way you did as the original 3DS, so there's not really going to be any difference there. Um, but yeah, so it's that's pretty much it, guys. It's a really nice system. I highly suggest it. There's a lot of pretty cool games that are coming out this year. Legend of Zelda, um, Hyrule Warrior Legends is a great game that just came out. Exclusively to the new 3DS, and of course the Wii U if you have that. Um, but we're also going to be getting a new Kirby game, and a few other games. So it's there's still a lot of cool stuff coming out this year. Now I have to say, if you plan on upgrading your original 3DS to this one, I would say it's not 100% necessary. All right, so in my opinion, it's a nice upgrade. Is it worth the what is it, like $160 or 80 or whatever it costs now to do that upgrade? I'm gonna say probably not. All right. So again, unless you really want to play Xenoblade Chronicles, that's the only game that is completely exclusive to this system. You can't play it on any other system unless you have the original Wii. So if you want to play that game, go ahead and upgrade. If you don't care for that game, don't rush into it. You don't have to upgrade right away. Okay, so that's completely up to you. I personally love the system. I'm glad that I upgraded because I was able to get this at an incredibly good deal. So it didn't cost me a whole. I didn't have to pay the full $180 or whatever. So for me, it was worth it, absolutely. But I would say just think about it, consider it. I showed you all the features to keep those all in mind. If those are really important to you, then you can decide from there. All right. So thank you all for watching. This is another console review of the 3DS in 2016. All right, this is Talk F, and I am signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please drop it a like. Please comment and subscribe, and until next time, have a wonderful day.